Welcome back with the first session of our exam-oriented batch for financial accounting. In this first session, we are going to focus on the most important topic, that is accounts from incomplete records. Majorly, we will call them as single entry system. Okay. This accounts from incomplete records is something which is majorly you can visualize in sole proprietorship and a partnership. Okay. On this, a sole proprietor should maintain the books of accounts. Every business should maintain the books of accounts to keep the transactions. Okay. So for that purpose, sole proprietor will not prepare the books of accounts because he may think that he is doing only the low volume of transactions. The transactions are very few or very less as the case may be. Then there may be also the possibility that he may have a lack of knowledge about the accounting perspective. And he may influence by some other person, it will increase more cost to the enterprise or more cost to the organization. So you may try to avoid that. And he may think that and under the sole proprietorship, there is no statutory requirement to maintain the books of accounts. So there can be a 3 to 4 cases which may influence the sole proprietor not to maintain the books of accounts. But instead of maintaining the proper books of accounts, he will maintain a books called memorandum books. Memorandum books is something which is having not forms part of your main books of accounts. It will forms part of, you can also say randomly in a layman's language, you can say it is a rough preparations of your accounts. In this preparations of your accounts, he will make a sales, correct? For the sales purpose, the sales should be done in 2 ways. One is based on cash, one is based on credit basis. That is based on credit means we are giving a credit to the person. After the 10 days you can pay, after the 30 days you can pay. Like this is a credit basis, and cash basis means he will pay it immediately in cash, or there can be also a agreement between the persons regarding the cash sales also. And for this cash sales, he will easily collect it in cash. For credit, he should collect it from debtors. Here, I will just try to put it in simple. I'm not just going deep brief into it. When the buying and selling is happened in a layman's language, or in an accounting term, we will say it is a purchase and sale. When a purchases happen, on the purchases, if anything is done on credit, who is the supplier, we will call them as creditor. Supplier is a person which is also known as vendor. Okay, sales means to whom we are selling the product. Okay, that person who is purchasing that product from us on credit basis is known as debtor, or we can call them as customer. Okay, now if sales has happened, and another side of the business enterprises regarding the purchases, correct? Regarding the purchases also, we are having 2 aspects. One is cash, one is credit. Okay, if it is purchased on credit, we need to make a payment to creditor. So I am slightly introducing the words which is majorly important for your examination also. Okay, so we are not preparing the books of accounts. On the absence of the books of accounts, we will call them as single entry. We are not following a scientific way of method of preparations of an accounts. This single entry will affect not a single site, it will affect one account at a time. It can also be a purchase account or it will also be a sales account. If I say it's a sales account, I am indirectly saying it is a debtors account. If I am saying purchase account, indirectly I am saying it is a creditors account. Okay, why there is a need? Because to prepare a books of accounts like in single entry system, because to may expand the business, they may having a need of some funds to make arrange those funds to go to the financial institutions or the banks or the commercial organization to borrow some money. They will ask some what are the transactions you have done, what is your net worth, and what is the valuation which you, what is the valuations of the business. Like this they will ask. For that matter of purpose, we are preparing a books of accounts. Are you able to understood it? And then every transaction, purchase and sales is going to happen. It will also indirectly involve banking transaction, that is a deposits towards the bank and from the bank you are going to withdrawals. Okay, deposits towards the bank and we are going to convert it into the withdrawals. Okay, so this is a basic, just simple introductions about the single entry system. Under the single entry system, we need to convert the single entry into the double entry. Okay, we need to do the single entry into the double entry. That is majorly bank, we are going to find out some money. For the bank, we will present our financial statements. Okay, and every citizen or every person who is doing a business and you need to pay some taxes to the government. For a taxes to the government, we will prepare some different financial statements, because as per the tax authorities you have studied in your PGGP, that is the tax authorities does not accept the single entry system, they will accept only the double entry system. Okay, it can be a cash basis and accrual basis, that's a separate concept. I'm not going deep into it. I'm just saying, as per the tax authority is concerned, they will accept only the double entry system. So for that purpose, this single entry needs to be, this single entry of accounting system needs to be converted into double entry. Okay, need to be converted into double entry. So the process of conversion, the process of conversion of single entry towards double entry is majorly we are going to see. On this, we are having two different methods. One is conversion method. Next one is statement of affairs method. Okay, in this, in your examination, they will majorly test this point. Okay, majorly they will test about the conversion method. Okay, this conversion method is the most important as far as your exam is concerned. Statement of affairs method anybody can do. Okay, on this conversion method, we will see it first. This conversion method is preparing to find out the profitability and financial position of an enterprise. Let's say it is from 1/4/2023 to 31/3/2024. Okay, that's a financial year we are going to find out. Or we will take 1/4/2022 to 31/3/2023. Okay, so this financial position means you already know it is nothing but preparations of an assets and liabilities. So the preparation of assets and liabilities to prepare a statement which is put to the users of the business, that is known as financial position, that is balance sheet. And regarding the profitability of the concern, we will say them as financial performance. This financial performance is nothing but preparation of trading account and profit and loss account. Actually, a trading account will not going to appear as it is in case of company is concerned. As it is a non-corporate entities, we will prepare a trading account. As far as corporate entities, we will directly prepare called income statement or the statement of profit and loss, which is an inclusive of trading account also. Okay, so this trading account, as we already know the basics, the trading account and P&L account is for the whole period. So for the whole period, we will properly call them as final accounts. Okay, that is, you will start from 1/4/2022 to 31/3/2023. But as far as balance sheet is concerned, it is on that day, that is 31/3/2023. What is the position I am in? What is the cash I am have? What are the asset worth I am having? What is the liabilities I owe to other person? What are the liabilities they need to pay to me? That is, for some person it may be a liability, other for me it is an asset. எனக்கு அது asset, the opposite person, there from their point of view it may be a liability, from my point of view it is asset. Okay, so this preparation of a final accounts we need to prepare. We have seen that we are having some accounting cycle, correct? Transaction to journal, journal to ledger, ledger to trial balance, and then only final accounts will comes to picture, correct? But as far as single entry is concerned, there is no preparations of journal, there is no preparations of ledger, there is no preparations of trial balance. They may be partly prepare a ledger, that is called, very few ledgers they will prepare: total creditors account, total debtors account, bills payable account, bills receivable account, and most important thing under the single entry system, this two and this two we need to prepare. Okay, it is a combination of total creditors plus bills payable and total debtors plus bills receivable. Okay, and apart from this, we need to showcase our entries in the cash book. That cash book can be a single column, that cash book can be a double column cash book, that we need to be able to identify only based on the question only. In your examination, if they will never said to prepare your cash book. Cash book will come to an indirect adjustment for each and every question, which is based on conversion method. Where the transactions where the adjustments are very few, you should omit your cash books. Okay, or unless and until if the transactions are very larger and it will affect majority of the cash transactions or the bank transaction, you will prepare cash book in your examination. Okay, if any one item is missing in creditors, you should prepare total creditors. If any one item is missing, like opening debtors or closing debtors as the case may be is missing, you should prepare total debtors account. And you should post this entries into the cash book if it is affecting the cash transactions or the bank transactions as the case may be. If I say it is a cash, it will be two. One is cash book now, it will be cash account also, and it will be bank column also. It will be based on the question, we will take a call whether we will go for a cash transaction or we will go for a banking transaction. Are you able to understood? Shall we move on to the next part? Yes, done. Now, we are not maintaining a proper books of accounts. Here and there, we are maintaining some transactions, we are doing some transactions, we are not doing, we are not giving the effect. So, we need to, under the conversion method, okay, first step is to prepare a final account. That is a final account for the year 22-23 we need to prepare. For this final account, first criteria is, as I already told, it is need to do trading. Second one is regarding the P&L. Okay. And third one is regarding the balance sheet. Okay, this is all we are going to do. But here there is no trial balance to prepare it. Okay, we are just giving with the information for that purpose. So for that purpose, we are going to find out the missing amounts. This missing amounts needs to be found by preparing a working notes. Our first working note in your majority of the question, suppose on the absence of opening capital. In your examination, if they give on the absence of opening capital, you will prepare opening balance sheet. You will prepare opening balance sheet for the year 1/4/2022. You will prepare. Okay. This preparation I will roughly do. Suppose there can be a machinery, there can be a building. Okay. And you may have a furniture, and you may have a stock at year end, and you may have some debtors. Bills receivable will be there, cash and bank transactions will be there, some prepaid expenses if any. Many students will fail to do this. Prepaid expenses are the one major thing they will need to put it in a balance sheet. Because why we are putting in our balance sheet? It is an asset, correct? This side is going to be a liability side, correct? If it is an asset, prepaid expenses is something which I paid already. I need to take a benefit out of it. They need to provide some services. For them, it is a liability. For me, it is a, I need to receive some services. For me, it is an asset. Next, as far as the liability is concerned, we are having major transactions. That is, we will put creditors, bills payable majorly, then bank loan, or loans from some other customers or some persons. And most important thing is outstanding expenses. Outstanding expenses is something which is I need to liable, I need to owe to other person, which is I am having a responsibility, I am having an obligation to repay, I am having an obligation to pay to them. So I am saying it is an outstanding expenses, which is a liability. Okay, and with this basic information, if you are going to tally, okay, here you are going to find out one answer. That answer is known as capital. At the beginning, you should write, or you should write it as opening capital. In both the ways, you can write it down. Okay, so we have prepared with the some first working, and we are just going to see about the working note 2. Okay, this working note 2 will be based on your supporting accounts. What are those supporting accounts? Can anyone chat with me? Anyone put it in my message? What are the supporting accounts? That is missing amounts. This missing amounts, that is in missing figures, needs to be find out by preparing, as I already told, by preparing total debtors account, total creditors account, bills receivable account, bills payable account. Fifth one, cash and bank account, or you can say it is a cash book. You should prepare in columnar form. Here, points comes to your exam point comes to your mind that when I will use bills receivable, when I use bills payable account, sir. The bills receivable account is something when you were questioning, you will be able to identify some opening bills receivable, some closing bills receivable paid. Like this, any words you will be able to identify. At that time only, we will prepare bills receivable account, or else we will directly prepare total debtors account to find out credit sales. Why there is a majority to prepare a total debtors account is to find out credit sales. Why there is necessary to prepare a total creditors account? That is, total creditors account is nothing but sundry debtors or sundry creditors. Alternatively, creditors we are preparing is for credit purchases. Okay, credit purchases. It is bills receivable is supporting the bills debtors, and alternatively bill total debtors will helping the bills receivable to find out the closing of your accounts. And the same way for creditors and bills payable also. Because why I am suggesting this, slightly wait, we are going to see how the purchase and how the sales will entirely run through. That chart I am going to provide it for you. Okay. So what is the first step you need to do in the conversion method? That we will see. This is an important point, exam oriented point. Kindly make a note of it. Everyone who is feeling in the morning, kindly sit straight and write down in your notebook. First one is transfer balance sheet items to the respective accounts. That is, you are given with some questions, correct? By just in the questions, you are given with some balance sheet. Okay, that balance sheet or any amount that you should transfer to the respective accounts. If you are given with an opening balance sheet, transfer the opening balance sheet items to the respective accounts. That is total debtors, total creditors, or bills receivable, or the bills payable, or maybe a cash book, or maybe a trading account, or maybe a P&L account, or maybe a closing balance sheet. Next, second step is regarding the transaction. These transactions or any adjustments which forms part of your additional information in the question. On that part, you should adjustment should be given for the it should be given in your question paper itself. That adjustments we need to do adjust. And for a closing balances, closing balance will be given in your question, or in some concern you need to be able to identify in your question. This balances you need to give a two effect. One is on the account, one is on the balance sheet. That is, total closing creditors is given. Let's say example, closing creditors is given. This closing creditors will have a first effect in creditors account. Okay, creditors account on the debit side. Okay, on the second effect in the balance sheet, it will be on the liability side. So two effects we need to give. After that, fourth step which you need to do is close the supporting accounts, that is bills receivable, bills payable, total debtors, total creditors, cash. You will able to identify some balancing figure. Okay, correct. Each and every question will have some balancing figure. In balancing figure, first one you should circle it. I will say you should circle it. In your examination, if you circle it, it will attract the examiner that clearly mentioning that this is my bills receivable. Why I am suggesting is after the end of your entire 4 days, I'm going to give you or I'm going to showcase you how I present my paper in my examination. Okay, I have my paper with me. Okay, I'm just going to give it to you how you need to present, how the working notes, and what is an marks which has been allotted for each and every working notes. Because you know one thing, in your examination they will clearly mention all the working notes will forms part of your answer is a first thing which they are given in the introduction to your paper. In the first page, in the front page of the paper, they are given with them. Each and every working notes will having minimum half a mark to 1 mark. If it is a 15-mark question, like this, the same question has been tested. For trading and PNL, they will allot 5 marks. For balance sheet, they will allot 5 marks. The remaining 5 marks will only goes for a working notes. Okay, make sure you are putting your working notes. Okay, that is your balancing figure. Then, if you want, you can do numbering also. How it is a numbering? First, I have closed the total debtors account, put 1. Then I'm going to total creditors, that 2. Then I'm just posting it to the balance sheet and I'm coming back. Like this, you can do a numbering to the balancing figure. And third one, post it immediately. Why I am using the word immediately? Because you may able to forget it. As of now, I don't about the others, okay? Because most of the students, what they will do now, first they will prepare trading, and they will prepare P&L, and they will prepare balance sheet. Here and there, they will go and prepare. What we are going to do, we will use a simultaneous approach. That is, at the same time, we are going to prepare trading account, same time P&L, same time balance sheet, same time total debtors, same time total creditors, same time bills receivable, bills payable, and the cash. On a single, or we will be able to allocate and we will be able to manage how we are going to present your examination in the class itself. Okay, when we go for a simultaneous approach in your examination, first point, none of the adjustments you will leave. None of the mistakes you will commit. No mistakes you will commit. Okay, and you will get an accurate answer. Your balance sheet will tally. Suppose, even though your balance sheet will not tally, don't worry about it. Okay, because why I am saying just don't worry about it, because the final value will only having only 1 mark. If you put all the working notes correct, you will award it with 5 marks. If your trading is correct, you will award it with 2 marks. If your P&L is correct, you will award it with 3 marks. If you are committing any mistake in the balance sheet, that committed mistake along with your final answer will be, the marks will be deducted. Okay, are you able to understood? Next, the last and final touch which we are going to give it, and just we are putting a toppings on the exam paper, that is finally we are going to close all the final account. That's a final account. We are going to prepare it in a usual manner, which you already know. I am not going to talk about how you are going to close. First prepare trading and then P&L and then balance sheet, which you are going to do. And if you do all this, your closing balance sheet must tally. It must tally. Okay. So this is a part about a conversion method. Okay. To do. And why we are doing a numbering, you may have a doubt that to know the order. What order I have done? First I close the debtors, second I have closed the creditors, and then I close the balance sheet. Or sorry, thirdly I will close the cash and book account. I will do. Okay. Next. Here we are going to see some adjustments. Okay, that adjustments may helpful for your examinations also. I will give you with few examples. I will take some adjustments and I will do. Suppose you are going to find out calculation of gross profit. Gross profit is not given in the question. Okay, but you are going to find out but some other information. Okay, so what they have given, they are saying cost plus profit is equal to sales. Correct? Everyone will be able to understand this. Cost plus profit is equal to sales. So they are saying cost is 100, profit is 25% on cost. If it is 25% on cost, total sale will become 125%. Total sale will become what? 125%. So if it is 25% on cost, that is 25 by 100 on cost. Okay, how much on sales? There may be an adjustment in your examination. If it is, there may be an adjustment in an examination. Okay, you will say it is 25 by 125. Is it right? 25 by 125. Shall I write this 25 by 100 as 1 by 4? Shall I write this 25 by 125 as 1 by 5? Shall I write this 1 by 4 as 25%? Shall I write this 1 by 4 as 20%? So it is nothing but 25% on cost is 20% on sales. 25 on cost is nothing but 20 on sales. 20% on sales. So suppose they have given, let's say this profit, we will take it as gross profit. Okay, suppose they have given this gross profit of the last year. They have given gross profit of the last year, that is they are saying it is 60,000. Gross profit of the last year they have given is 60,000. Okay, so we are going to identify if the last year GP margin is 60,000 and the GP margin is 25% on cost, it is 20% on sale. So we are going to find out the sales for last year by using this sales for last year. How we are going to find it out? If it is 60,000 divided by 25 multiplied by 125. Take a calculator and do and give me the value. Take a calculator and do and give me the value. Just give your answers in a chat box. You are getting a value of 3 lakh. Yes. You are getting a value of 3 lakh. Good. This 3 lakh, they are saying in your examination, it's a complete adjustment which I take and we are going to summarize it. Suppose they are saying in the current year, it has increased by 20%. It has increased by 20%. What you will do? 3 lakh plus 20%. Take a calculator and do. What is the value? 3,60,000 is your value. And now they are saying this sales of current year will be done on 2 methods. One is on cash basis, one is on credit basis. They are saying only about the cash. you should assume that the remaining will be on the credit. 20% will be on the cash sales. If they are given in that way, you need to do remaining 80%. You should assume itself in the credit and you should given with the concern working notes. Okay, so now calculate 360 into 20%. You will get 72,000 and 360 into 80%. You will get 2,88,000. And I want to say one more thing. Most of the students in your examination, what you are doing now actually, suppose what I say, find out the cash sales I have said. Okay, what you have done in your calculator, 3,60,000 into 20% you have done, you have got with the answer 72,000. Correct? Am I right? Yes, correct. When I say to find out credit sales, what you have done, 3,60,000 into 80% is equal to 2,88,000 you have done. Correct? Is it right? Is it right or wrong? Instead of that, what you can do now, you are finding in the first part cash, no? 3,60,000 into 20%, you will given with 72,000. Correct? Do along with me. 3,60,000 into 20%, you will get 72,000. Just press minus equal to. Just press minus equal to. You will give with the answer in the immediate next step. There is no need to do this step again to find out the 80%. If you're subtracting minus equal to, it is the calculator will calculate it directly that remaining 80% they are asked. So why I am saying that now, from this you can save some 10 to 15 seconds time. At least 5 to 10 seconds time. Okay. So here there is no error of margin will occurs when you do it properly. Okay. So this is how you need to do. And we have find out the sales, correct? We have identified the sales. What is the GP of a current year? That GP of current year is equal to, what is my gross profit? That is sales, we will be able to find out the gross profit. 3,60,000 into, what is the gross profit on sales? 1/5 or 20%. What is 3,60,000 into 1/5 or 3,60,000 into 20%? 3,60,000 into 20% or 3,60,000 into 1/5? What is the value? 72,000 is the value. So my gross profit is 72. My sales will be 72,000 as a cash sales and credit sales. So this is how your working notes will also be do it in this manner only. Shall I do it in this way, sir? Shall I do by doing a chart pattern like this? Yes, it is acceptable in your examination. What I have done, not I am saying this part, I am just omit this part and omit this part. Okay. Just saying apart from this, everything will be acceptable by the person. Omit this part. Okay, omit this part. The remaining everything will be accepted by the examination committee. Okay. So this is the first thing which you need to do. And second adjustments which major students will not able to understood is regarding one of the most important adjustment, that is Listen. Write down the opening debtors is rupees 1,50,000. The credit period is allowed to debtors is 2 months. The current sales, the current year sales is 20% higher than previous year. The company sells 25% for cash and the balance on credit. From this information, calculate the total sales of the year and the breakup. What breakup? Sales breakup. Okay. So from this, what we will be able to understood this, they have given with some credit periods they have given. What is the credit period they have given to the debtors? Credit period is equal to 2 months they have given. Okay. Suppose I will take some assumptions or I will give you try to explain. Suppose if I make credit sales part. Suppose if I make credit sales on January. What is the credit period? 2 months. So plus 2 months. January plus 2 months. That is January is the first month plus 2 months. That is 3. That is what month? You will get it in March month. January month sales amount, you will only get it on what? March month you will be able to get it. Okay. So likewise, if I do, suppose let's assume my year end on 31st March. Is there any outstanding on 31st March? No outstanding. On January month sales. Suppose if I done my sales on Feb month, when is my collection? Feb month I am doing a credit. When is my collection? Collection is plus 2. That is on April month. That is on what month? April month. So it will be outstanding on 31/3. My book's closing is 31/3. So it will outstand. For March month, my collection will be on May. On that March month also, it will outstanding. So basically, it is 2 months is outstanding. Okay. So from this, what I will be able to know is my opening balance of debtors on 1/4, that is 1st April, is equal to closing balance of debtors. Because basically it is a 2 months now. Basically, if it is a 2 months, my opening balance of first and my closing balance of the current year will also be the same. Basically, 2 months will be the time gap of the current year, which is equal to 1,50,000. Okay, so if 1,50,000 amount, what they are saying now, the opening debtors value they have given. Okay, opening debtors value is 1,50,000 means it is assumed that it is a worth of 2 months. Okay, 1,50,000 is equal to 2 months. Then how much it is for 12 months? How much it is for 12 months? Just take a calculator and do 1,50,000 into 12 divided by 2. What is the value you will get? 9 lakh value you will get. So your total credit sales of the last year, okay, of the last year. Why I am specifically using the last year? Because they have given it is the last year sales only, we are going to find out. Okay, last year is rupees 9 lakh. But wait, the answer is not over. We need to find total sales. So to find out the total sales of last year, that is this 9 lakh, it is a credit sales, correct? This credit sales, what they have said, a credit sales is the company sells 25% of cash and balance on the credit. So I will assume that the remaining 75%, that is 75% is equal to 9 lakh. Then how much is equal to 100? Take a calculator and do. That is, you can do it alternatively also. 9 lakh divided by 75%. Alternatively, 9 lakh into 100 multiplied by divided by 75 you can directly do 9 lakh divided by 75%. 9 lakh divided by 75% is what? You need to press 9 lakh, next divided by, okay, 75% button. You will get 12 lakh. Okay, this 12 lakh is 100%. But we need to be able to identify current year sales. Current year sales, what they have said, now it is 25%, 20% higher than. So your total sales equal to rupees 12 lakh plus 20%. What value it will shows? Rupees 12 lakh plus 20%. It will shows 14 lakh 40,000. So this 14 lakh 40,000, you need to separate it into breakup. That is cash. Cash breakup is 25%. And credit breakup. What you need to do it in a calculator? Come on, quickly do 14 lakh 40,000 into 25%. What value it will shows? Rupees 3 lakh 60. Then minus equal to. You will get rupees 10 lakh 80,000 as your answer. So this is how you will do it for total debtors. The same is applicable for total creditors also, total purchases also. You will find out the same process to identify the total purchases if your question is only based on those parts. Okay. So I will only able to teach you the one part of the answer. You can try with the same example, create your own example. Wherever you come across with the word debtors, you can use the word creditors. Wherever you come across the word sales, you will put the word purchases and do the same thing. You will get your answers. Or frame your own question. Instead of 20%, you can put 10%. Instead of 25% cash, put 20% and try to find it out. You will be able to get your answers. So these are the major basic two adjustments which you need to remember for your entire discussion on single entry system. Okay, under the single entry system, these are the basic concepts which you need to remember. Okay, and I need to give you few points which will also be helpful for your examination. Okay, and for your examination, I will specifically tell you that you need to do this rupees symbol is important. Okay, if you just look at my working notes, wherever I come across with the final answer, I will specifically use my rupees symbol. Wherever I come across with the final answers. Okay, so make sure you are not missing any rupee symbols in your answers. Okay, then I will give you exam oriented points. Listen, if QRSA, what is this QRSA? Question: remaining silent. You should answer Suppose collection of debtors is silent. They are not speaking about collection of debtors. You should assume it is a positive cash flow. Okay, and you should assume it is collected. Assume it is collected. Same in case of payment to creditors. You should also assume that it in a positive way, that it is paid. It is paid. Next, one more important thing I need to tell you, that regarding wages. Regarding wages is concerned. Okay. Kindly understood. The wages is concerned. Wages is a term which we will use for manufacturing entities. Which we will use for manufacturing entities. What is manufacturing entity? Put it in a nutshell. That is, we are purchasing some raw material. Correct. That raw material will going into the FG, that is finished goods. Okay. Here we are committing some, in this process of raw material to finished goods, we are committing some process that is regarding manufacturing expenses. This manufacturing expenses, which we are majorly indicating, it forms part inclusive of wages also. Here, the raw material will needs to be converted into the finished goods. It will majorly requires the inputs of the wages. Without the wages and without the hiring of the labor, it will not be converted into the FG. So it forms part of a manufacturing expense. So wages will be treated as a direct expense. It will be treated as direct expense. If we treat it as a direct expense, I will debit. I will debit it to trading account. I will debit it to trading account. Suppose your question suggests it is a trading organization. It is trading organization. That is, what is a trading organization? They itself is already having a finished product. We are just finished to finished goods. That is, we are just buying the finished goods and we are selling the finished goods with some margin of profits. Okay, so it can also be retail or it can also be wholesale. Anything, it is a trading organization, whether it is in a retail or whether it is in a wholesale. On that time, manufacturing expenses will not be incurred. Correct. Manufacturing expenses will not be incurred at that time. Wages will be equivalent to salaries. Wages will be equivalent to salaries, and you should give this effect in P&L account on the debit side. P&L account on the debit side. Okay. So there can be a possibility that you may treat them as indirect expense. Okay, if it is a trading organization. So kindly understand the heading of that question. Okay, that's a major important part. And the preparation of statement of affairs method, I will just give you a just brief about it. Under the statement of affairs method, okay, under the statement of affairs method is a basic thing. Okay, this statement of affairs method, this entire single entry system, which you have already learned it in your 12th curriculum, whether it is a state board or a CBSE student, you have learned. Okay, this statement of affairs, this is the basic regarding the state board syllabus. We have already uploaded all the basic concepts in English. Here and there we will use some Tamil language, but majorly we will use English. That entire basics about what is and how the incomplete records works, what is a theory part regarding 5 hours of classes, which has already been uploaded in my YouTube channel. You can also refer that if you have any doubts regarding that. Okay, regarding the statement of affairs, it will be like this. You will have a closing capital. Okay, from a closing capital, you will add with the drawings. Okay, drawings should not be incurred only by the drawings. Any personal expenses should also be treated as drawings, like income tax of the proprietor paid. Any gift will be paid to the proprietor. It will also be considered as a drawings. Okay, and you should subtract the additional capital, and you should subtract the opening capital to arrive the profit or loss. Suppose on the absence of information, you don't have the closing capital, prepare closing statement of affairs. It's look like it resembles like a balance sheet, but it's not exactly a balance sheet. If information is silent regarding the opening capital, prepare opening statement of affairs. If closing statement is not, closing capital is not there, prepare closing statement of affairs. A statement of affairs is something which I have basically told in my working note 1, that the same part in the absence of capital, we will prepare that and we will try to find it out. Okay, all the adjustments, if it is any, should be given an effect in the question itself. Okay, in the closing statement and opening statement of affairs, you will give the adjustments. Okay, so with this, and entire conceptual clarity regarding the single entry system is given. But here, I have not included some clarity on depreciation, some clarity on outstanding wages, some clarity on prepaid expenses, some clarity on accrued incomes or loans. That are the basic things which you need to do. That things, there is a separate chapter which you need to remember is NPO. Whatever we were done, do it in the not-for-profit organization, the same thing which we are doing it here. Okay, like say, for example, if I want to say salary is outstanding, I am going to follow an accrual basis of accounting. Okay, if my question says it is an accrual basis of accounting, let's say I have a salary of rupees 5,000 per month. Okay, 5,000 per month. Outstanding for 2 months. Okay. In my P&L, I will show salary 5,000 into 10, that is 50,000, plus outstanding 10,000. How? 5,000 into 2, 10,000, total 60,000 I will show. This is my P&L. Okay. When it comes to the balance sheet, on the liability side, I will show outstanding salary 10,000. This is how the adjustment will go. Any expenses, any salary, rent, wages, anything which should be done it in this way. If it is an accrual basis, if it is only a cash basis, this 50,000 only should be recorded. This 10,000 should not given any effect. And if it is based on prepaid, I have prepaid of rupees, prepaid insurance of rupees 200 per month. Any prepaid expenses which are done, which is prepaid, no? So this P&L I will do prepaid of 2 months. and prepaid of 1 month, which I put. Then I will show prepaid insurance, or I will put insurance. Okay, 11 into 200. What is 11 into 200? 2200, which I will add that prepaid expenses, that is for 1 month, that is 200. Totally I will show 2400 as per accrual basis. In my balance sheet, it is a prepaid item which I need to receive the benefit. So I will take it to my asset side. I will write it is a prepaid expenses. I will put 200. Like this, I will show an adjustment. Basically, these are the two adjustments which you are going to do. Depreciation, you already know how you given less from the asset and show it in the P&L you need to do. Okay. This is a basic thing which you need to remember as far as a single entry is concerned. As far as single entry is concerned, you need to remember this. And on the upcoming session, in the next session, we are going to give a flow chart for a purchase transaction, and we will going for sales transaction. It will give you a conceptual 100% conceptual clarity regarding bills of exchange, final accounts of sole proprietor, in some cases NPO, in some cases partnership. It will give you a conceptual clarity. Okay, so after a quick break, we will start with our second session. Okay, on this session, we will just try to follow the process of purchases and the sales, and then we will do few sums, and then we will move on to our next chapter. Okay, we will see in our next session.